Welcome to vlog number 39. I mean, I have to apologise that it's Thursday already and it's even 1 o'clock on Thursday. But you have missed absolutely nothing. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I've been sat here at my desk, emails, drawings, doing boring admin-y things. You also didn't miss anything cake related because the cake that I have this week isn't being collected till Sunday, so I baked that yesterday, which is a Wednesday. It's ganache and it's currently sticking itself to its drum so that I can then cover it. So as soon as there's nothing going on this week, I will show you what you missed last week. So first up was this Street Fighter cake. It is based on the character Ryu, which was also the birthday boy's name. I got that one all finished and delivered. And then another one to deliver was this Spitfire cake, which if you are already subscribed to my channel, you will have seen it pop up as a tutorial. If you haven't watched it yet, I shall leave it linked below. Sometimes I might upload a tutorial and you think, oh, I don't need to watch that. But sometimes it's worth clicking on just because there might be just a tiny little nugget of information in there that you didn't know before. We delivered that on Friday, and then on Saturday we went to another Caravan show. So I actually only have a little bit of footage from this. I did film more, but the SD card I was using corrupted halfway through. So the SD card I was usually using, it was full of Spitfire material. It was absolutely full to the brim of a Spitfire tutorial. So I used another SD card and I just happened to pick out that one that didn't work. If you have been around here for a while, you will have seen a previous vlog where the camera kept cutting out. It is that SD card. It doesn't tell you when it's cut out. You just speak into the camera and it's gone off and you don't even know it's gone off. So unfortunately, I only have a little bit of material, but I'll post it now so you can take a look at what we got up to. Morning, it is Saturday the 18th of January and we are currently at the Trafford Centre today. So this is Barton Square, which is the homeware bit of the Trafford Centre, and we're just going across right there into that building, which is Event City. So Event City is essentially a massive convention centre where they hold tattoo conventions, wedding fairs, but today we've come to the Caravan show, which is no surprise because somebody's still looking for a caravan. We've very kindly been gifted entry today, but the kids get in free anyway, so if you come into any Caravan show, we've been to the one at the NEC, kids are usually free and parking is free as well, so if you've got nothing to do and it's raining outside, you can always come and have a look around different conventions that are on. Right, we are inside. With your entry to the Caravan show, you also get entry to the travel show as well. So if you wanted to book a cruise or find holidays and things, that's a good one to go to. This area that we're in now is kind of like the smaller stalls where you can buy your awnings, there's coats, there's even crusty pies if you want to buy pies. So they have little guides of layouts for the caravan. So one of these are like fixed beds. So this will be a 4 berths because you can have 2 people sleep on here, this turns into a bed, and 2 people in the double bed. But we're looking more for something like this one where it's got bunk beds. This is a dinette, and then we can turn this into a bed as well, and then the bathroom separate at the back. So we're going to hunt down a Bailey Phoenix 650. We've been around all the suppliers we know so far, and unfortunately none of them have brought any of the layouts we wanted. Because we know Bailey does a layout like that. Who else was there? Eldis? Yep. Eldis does a layout like that, and Luna does a layout like that, except there's none of them here. I think they've catered more towards, there's a lot of caravans that have fixed beds in, so I think they've brought all them because that must be just what they sell most of. But unfortunately we can't look around any that we've come to look at. So as they had no twin bed versions or bunk beds, we've come to look at one with a fixed bed in it. Obviously this one extends, so I'm just pushing it back up so you can get around the bottom of the bed, but when you want to sleep in it you have to pull it out, which means no one can get past and go to the toilet in the night unless you sleep in there, which would be me. But is this one a contender with the bedding? But yeah, big thanks to the Caravan show for giving us tickets to get in. Unfortunately we came home empty-handed again, and Adam is like a toddler who's had to leave his toy on the shelf. He was not a happy bunny. Second-hand caravans are hard to come by at the minute. There's not many people selling them because the season hasn't started, so they haven't got their new caravans yet until March. We were going to actually buy a new one. We knew which one we wanted. They just didn't have any. But it was a smaller show, so we have been to the one at the NEC before, which is obviously much, much bigger. And then the one at Manchester, they've got a smaller area to work with. So the show is smaller, so they can only bring in however many caravans will fit. Unfortunately, all they brought were ones with fixed beds, which we don't mind. It's just that they were nearly all overweight. I think there was maybe 2 caravans in the whole show that fit our weight and layout, and those ones were really expensive. So our search still continues. I've got a feeling we're gonna end up biting the bullet and just buying anything at this point because somebody is getting very impatient. And then on Saturday night, we did something we have never done before. So Abby had a visitor at school. They were an ice hockey team and they were travelling around the schools giving out tickets. Now these tickets were only £1 each. So when the leaflet came home, I looked at it and thought, a night out for £1 each? Yes, please. Adam had originally thrown the leaflet away thinking, not something he were really interested in. I picked it back out of the bin, filled it in. Obviously it didn't have any, bean juice or anything on it. It was still nice and clean. So I sent that off to school and we received 4 tickets to an ice hockey game. Kai wasn't very keen on going. He was like, oh, do we have to go? Typical teenage, do we have to go out? I was quite looking forward to it and Abby was looking forward to it. And then when we got there, they had the best time and want to go again. So there you go. I just thought this is the year where we try something new. Now I'm not talking about bungee jumping and things like that, but maybe just visiting things and doing things that we've not done before. So ice hockey has now been ticked off the list. Just because it's Thursday and I've already missed 3 days of filming and I need to fill a gap, I do have footage of Kai making a turkey noise in the car and Abby trying desperately to copy it, but failing. So happy Thursday. From the last vlog, I am still walking 2 hours a day. It is starting to eat into the evening, so I'm finding I'm still sat here at night at 9 o'clock catching up with things. I am sure that will even out because it's January and everybody wants to get their cake sorted, so hopefully it will quieten down as we get into February, which is when I start my new year. If that makes no sense, you won't have seen the last vlog. And you may have noticed we have Boris joining us for this week's vlog. He's very annoying, hangs around where you don't want him. Say hello to Boris and his cousin Jim. We are on the scenic route home today. There's a couple of different ways to get to and from school, but we usually take this one on the way home. And it's an old railway track that has now been turned into a bridleway for horses. There are a couple of little waterfalls on the way, reservoir at the end full of ducks and geese. Abby doesn't like geese. I'm walking around with a pair of clippers because she has a school project to make her own rainforest. So we're collecting twigs and leaves and stones that she can use to make her own project. So that's what we're doing today. Tiny waterfall number 1. This is always a pretty quiet one. And then there's a louder one a bit further up there. We currently have a bag of dirty twigs and stones. Still got quite a walk up here. We've just got a little stream down the side.
That's really nice.
However, you do have to dodge a lot of dog poo down here.
And horse poo.
And horse poo. Oh, does anybody else do this? Makes a brew and then forgets about it for 20 minutes. I'm still gonna drink you, but you're gonna be strong. This is where we're up to with the cake. So I had it covered yesterday. I sat down, did a few more emails, and then I sat down for the night. I attempted a regular 9 to 5 person's like downtime. So we had tea. That wasn't actually ready till about 7 o'clock. It just seemed to take forever. I sat at the computer then. There wasn't much anything I fancied watching on telly, so Adam was sat watching TV and I was learning some clay stuff on YouTube. So I used my downtime to try and learn a new skill. It does mean I have today and tomorrow to get this one finished, but I'm hoping to have it finished by today because we do have other jobs to do at the weekend still. So this is what we currently have. It is a 7-inch yellow cake with a blue board. It's a theme I have never heard of, so I have had to do some research. It is called The Good Place and is apparently a series on Netflix. Yeah, I bet you thought this was something to do with Minions, didn't you? But how I did it was I typed in The Good Place to give me a starting point, and the first thing I noticed just from these couple of images, there is a yellow and blue theme kind of going on. There's a blue couch there, yellow couch, but either way you look at it, it is a blue and yellow theme, so that is what I've gone with. I have watched some trailers on YouTube to try and like figure out what the whole thing is about. You'll see obviously there's a certain set of characters that pop up quite frequently. And I have chosen Ted Danson's character because he does pop up quite a lot. And according to the trailers, he's kind of like the ruler of the good place and he wears brightly coloured suits, which means he's going to be more recognisable if I make him. So if I make this woman, who obviously wears various different types of clothes, and just because she's blonde, she might just look like a random blonde woman sat on a yellow cake. So he's a little bit more distinctive in his clothing and obviously his hair and glasses. So how do you go about designing a cake when you know nothing about it? So one thing you can do is type in what you're looking for, followed by the word art. So there's going to be some fan art and fandom pictures which can give you a good idea. So as I'm scrolling down here, there's people done lots of artwork. So this one, so The Good Place, it's showing me bow ties, which I know is Ted Danson's suit most likely because he wears a bow tie. Then we've got a little cup of frozen yogurt, a fork and some cactus or some cacti. So I know that these things are quite important or crop up a lot in here. So then you just do a bit more research. Oh look, there's another cactus there. And the fork comes in with what the fork. There's another what the fork artwork there. So I know these things are obviously shown on the show a lot. So then I go back to the little clips and things you can find on YouTube of the show, or if you've got Netflix, you can go on Netflix and maybe watch an episode. So I now know that this is quite prominent. They're not allowed to swear in The Good Place. So guess what comes out? It is fork. So I'm going to add that into my design because I know it's prominent. I've already got Ted Danson in there with his bow tie because he's prominent. Obviously, frozen yogurt. Just by watching the trailer and some footage, I know that there is a lot of frozen yogurt in this. So that is how I've designed it. So what I'm going to do is I've got my yellow and blue colour. I'm going to put the fork wording across here, maybe happy forking birthday. I'm going to have Ted Danson, who is in love with his frozen yogurt. Obviously then you run this past the client because they're the one who loves the show and they will know if these pieces make sense, and yes, I can go ahead with this design. So really, a better example to explain this would be Friends. Imagine you have never seen Friends before, which is not hard for me to imagine because I haven't seen a full episode. But obviously it's been around a long, long time. It's very popular, so you already kind of know what is included in there. But I've just typed in Friends TV art, so imagine you've never heard of it, never seen it. So scrolling down, I can already see the logo is obviously quite prominent. There's little dots in between the letters that look important. There's whole collages of logos. So I'm already seeing this yellow frame pop up. It's here and here, so I know this is already quite popular. The couch shows up quite a lot. There's some more. There's another couch there. So I already know the main bits of the show that are going to be popular. So that's how you can kind of try and pick up a design from something you've never seen before. This is what's for quick dinner today. These were new in Aldi. I think they were 99p a box. And they're no meat meatballs. It says they're vegan meatballs made with rehydrated textured soya protein and onion puree. So I'm guessing it counts as serving as 4 meatballs. So I've just put 4 meatballs in the oven. And then I'm having some mash. So meatballs and mash. This only takes 3 minutes in the microwave. Super quick. A lot less mess than waiting for potatoes to boil and mash yourself. Here it is. I just made the recommended amount of mash, which is I think was about 130 grams. The bowl was looking kind of sad, so I just found some spinach that I had in the fridge and threw it in there. I'm hoping this will fill me up. This is where I've got up to so far, because I am filming it as a tutorial as well. I've just hidden some Skittles in here. You'll have to watch the tutorial to figure out what that's all about. I'm just waiting for a few things to dry before I stick anything else on, because if I try to start sticking his neckline in there and his head, it's going to squash his body because it's still soft. So I think I'm going to go and sit down, make a list of caravans with Adam until it dries a bit and then finish it off. Good morning, here is the finished thing. He now has a head and his little bow tie and his glasses. Those glasses were a nightmare, and his frozen yogurt. So this one just needs boxing up and it's being collected tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Adam's just cleaning his car out. And then we've got to paint our front fence in the middle of winter. I am dressed in Adam's clothes and I look like an egg. But it's absolutely freezing outside and we've got to go and paint the fence because the neighbours are doing the house up to sell and she decided she wanted a new fence out the front. She's painted hers grey on one side, but we want ours dark brown because the rest of it is dark brown out the back. But she wants it painting ASAP because she doesn't want it to rot. It's been raining, so we haven't been able to paint it. It's in the middle of winter, the fence is still wet, but we're going to have to paint it because we've got no other choice, so... Only one coat done on the fence, and as you can tell it is now chucking it down, so it's gonna have to wait another week before we can put another one on, I think. Well, yeah, didn't miss much from last night. We painted the fence. Whilst I painted the fence, Adam cleaned the kitchen and the kids did the washing up and the drying up, so that all the jobs were done so we could sit down after tea. We had pie and mash and then we sat down and watched The Masked Singer again. This morning, as always, we did the food shop, put the food away, they came to collect the cake, and then we decided to set off to look at a couple of caravans that were about an hour and a half away. We would only get there though with half an hour to go before they shut. So we drove about 38 minutes before we decided it was a pretty ridiculous idea to drive all that way, only to be able to look round it for half an hour, and it's not very long to like inspect the caravan and decide if you're going to buy it in half an hour. So we decided to turn around and come home. So we've wasted about an hour, if not more, out of the day. And to make it worse, we're both dressed as ketchup and mustard today. So we're going to go home, we're going to make a roast, and then most likely watch some more TV because we've got no other jobs to do. It seems I am incapable of finishing a vlog on a Sunday. I always have to come back on the next week to finish the vlog. It is Thursday today. As you're watching this, this is the day I'm filming this clip. The vlog is going up in a couple of hours and I don't have an ending. So here I am just to say that I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.